differing perspective, that's what we want to hear. We like to hear why you guys think the way that you do, because
Mm-hmm.
maybe that will open our eyes to another way of thinking about certain things. So,
Yep.
without further ado, let's not waste any more time. Ladies and gentlemen, today, me and my boy Mike, we are here to talk about the myths and false beliefs foreigners have about dating and meeting Filipinas. Now,
There you go.
I've, I've heard some outlandish shit, bro, about
Same
things
here.
that people have expectations for before they actually come to the Philippines and actually meet their Filipina. Now,
Mm-hmm.
the first one that I want to start with is that Filipinas are either easy to bed and or easy in bed. Now, when I say this, I'm
Uh-huh.
coming from the perspective of Filipinas are easy to get, and any activity that is partaken in behind closed doors, that is not my business. That is between you and yours. But maybe they got a little freak in them, maybe they don't. Sometimes they got, Filipinas that haven't done anything or maybe need to be taught. I mean, there's so many different ways we can approach it. But
Of
let's start
course.
with question number one. Filipinas are easy to bed. All right. I want to hear what you guys got to say about that one. Go ahead, man.
Well, the thing though is I in that type of a concept, the main thing to say is this is that what type of Filipina is she? I mean, of course, if it's a pay to play girl, that's going to be easy to bed. All right. But if you're talking about just an individualized person, you just have to understand that female nature is the same thing all throughout. Like, does she see you as a person that, you know, she's attracted to? Can you sexually escalate things with her to do it? Women will spread open for someone that they think is worth their while. That's just my honest belief. So in the end, it's not about the woman. If it's not pay to play, is it about the man? What can the man display for the woman to actually experience that? And there's this like quote that I've heard several times, and I think it in a way kind of applies.
Okay.
Like, a woman will change the rules for an alpha, but make the rules for a beta. So
True.
pretty much, if she sees you as somebody that can be a provider, that can be a protector, that can provide security, all that kind of stuff, more than likely she will change her own rules about sleeping with a guy in the first date. Now, if she sees you as a guy that maybe is in the friend zone, or maybe I'm not too sure, or maybe I don't know, then you're in a way in a beta. She's going to make her own rules. And that's where you hear some women saying, I'll sleep with them maybe in the third date. I'll sleep with them after we've spent more than 8 hours together. And that's when that kind of comes up. But then I'm going to take it to the next part for a lot of things is that for a Filipina, you have to be in the more of a funny romantic side. And if you can provide that feeling around her, that you're romantic, that you're funny, especially, then it's going to be easier. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm just saying it's going to be easier.
Oh man, there's a lot to unpack in this one, but I got you, Mike. I'm with you
Okay.
100%. They refer to them as the killing moments. A lot of people,
Yes.
a lot of
Man,
foreigners aren't gonna know what
kilig
killing.
to the
Yeah,
bone. When you hear a girl say, "Oh my God, he makes me kilig to the bone," meaning that it's that shiver all the way through the inside of the bones, right? So
yeah, man.
yes, I haven't heard
The,
that word in a while, man. I
I
guess I
just,
haven't made that girl do that in a while.
yeah, this killing, those kid. That's a Philippine term, guys. But it's that feeling that women get when they're overwhelmed with excitement about how a guy makes them feel.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know what? I like to say this, and some people may agree or disagree with this one, but I think a lot of guys will agree. It's okay to be corny in the Philippines. It's super okay to be a corny dude in the Philippines. These corny ass jokes and shit. Filipinos like to laugh. If you're like super serious all the time, I'm gonna tell you it's not gonna really serve you as much as you think it would. I mean, I kind of feel like in the West or dealing with Western women, you feel like you got to be serious all the time. The gameplay, tit for tat type of shit. But when it comes to dealing with certain women in the Philippines, like I do believe that, like you said, to an extent, when it comes to whether they're easy to bed or something to that perspective, it really does come down to how you make them feel. And the fact that women are willing to change the rules, Filipinos too, it don't matter who you say, they're willing to change the rules for the guys that they like and make the rules for the guys that they don't, or the guys that they want to make work for it. It's 100% true. That's why you have a lot of guys that are like super pissed off, like, yo, when you're in your younger years, more so talking about women in the West, in your younger years, in your 20s and 30s, you was just letting anybody hit, but now you're 30 and you want to fucking try to settle down and you actually want to gotta work for it, but everybody else got the goods for free. It's kind of like, what? Like, man, how was that supposed to make me feel? So yeah, man, if you really want to know the truth, it to an extent, okay, Mike, let me do this. To an extent, would you consider that a myth, a false belief, or something to be somewhat true? At the end of every topic we talk about, that's how we're going to answer it. Do you believe it to be a myth, false belief, or somewhat truthful?
I think that it's a false belief of men because they mix this whole thing about, the pay to play stuff and the foreigner fantasy type of a woman, because there are just like there are firemen chasers and police chasers and military chaser women's, there's also foreigner chasers. Okay, so but let's be honest, the quality of women who are foreigner chasers who will chase you the moment they see you is a whole different type of a low quality type of a woman. So I'll say it's a false belief. I mean, but I don't know if this is we're going to discuss this, but I mean, let's add this because I think that this is actually pertaining to this part.
Okay.
Is that, do you have to be good looking to get with a Filipina?
Oh man, damn. See, Mike, that's fucked up. That's
Yeah.
not right, because we've seen some pretty interesting individuals pull some badass Filipinas. I'm just gonna tell you the truth. I've seen some guys pull some women where even I'm like, damn, I'm impressed with that. But then again, like I said, it's judging a book by its cover. I think to an extent, man, you kind of never know what a Filipina likes until you get around the right one. I've heard a lot of Filipinas say that they like dating chubbier guys. Like, for some reason, a guy that's a little on the chubby side, now I'm not saying super fat, they're eating, they're healthy, and you'll have some Filipinas that will choose guys like that because they know these guys are eating. And it's one of those hidden things, like, you don't hear nobody talking about that shit. How Filipinas date like bigger, chubbier type guys because they know these guys are well fed. They know these guys eat, and they know that if they're probably in a relationship with this guy, chances are they're going to be eating good too. And that's just like a deep layer type of psychological thing that I think about when I hear about stuff like that. But from your perspective, how do you feel? Filipinas do you have to be attractive to get Filipinas?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, if you can check the mark of that, you're willing to be romantic and you are fucking hilarious, a lot of these girls will date you. It doesn't matter for that. If you can tick like the corny type of laughter. That's the thing, guys. Not the dry humor, because they'll get offended with our dry humor. But if you can do the corny, funny stuff, and then at the same time as play the you have to play that kind of like a sad boy routine, whatever, that I've seen a lot. Like it freaking works. Like but here's the thing, right? I still laugh until now because you still hear it in a lot of TikToks that they use this song sample, right? There's this rapper in the Philippines. He was like the second rapper of the Philippines ever.
Magalona?
No, that's the first one. That's Francis Magalona was the first one. Rest in peace to him.
Shout out to that, man.
Andrew E.
Oh, Andrew E came second?
Yeah, Andrew E came second.
Okay, go ahead. What about him?
So Andrew E came second. So he had this song since the 90s called Humanap Ka ng Pangit, meaning that look for an ugly man because he will love you forever. Iibigin kang tunay. So like until now, a lot of girls still abide by those rules. And at the very same time, is if they know you by heart and they get to know you and they get you from that, then there's going to be less girls that they're going to be competing against, because the Filipinas know that the competition is real with Filipino men.
Yeah, it truly is. Yeah, that competition is pretty stiff. But then that begs the question, and I think we might get into it a little bit later on.
Okay.
We might about Filipinos choosing foreigners. Is it by choice, right? Or is it the fact that they can't get what they really want? I mean, bro,
damn. That's a deep one right there. Hey, we can get there. We'll get there, man.
We'll definitely tap in on that one. All right, guys. We got 16 in the building, man. Appreciate you guys locking in. If you haven't already dropped your like, please make sure y'all drop that like, man. Make sure y'all caress, molest, and distress yourself. Love that like button. Once it needs it, most definitely has to have it. Again, if you guys want to support in any capacity, please feel free to do so. But we are definitely happy that y'all chose to come through and spend a little bit of time with us on this beautiful, beautiful evening. Cold Fusion said dad bods are 100%. I don't know what it is, man. I think that really does attract a lot of Filipinas. And if you know that, if you've ever seen any Philippine movie, it's usually the goofy, corny comedian type of guy that really does seem to get the girl in the end. It's not always about the muscular stature. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would want you to be the best version of yourself, but to an extent, it doesn't always have to be, you have to be super cut or like, ripped or anything like that. Cause some girls don't really find that to be as attractive as a lot of guys. I mean, as a lot of guys think they are, man. You got your Andrew Tates out here telling you stay in the gym and, do all this extra shit. But, to an extent, I don't want you to be unhealthy, right? I'm not encouraging that, but there are some people that have different ways of thinking about, health and, your body stature and shit like that.
Mhm.
So I think that is probably one of the main reasons why a lot of guys choose to, travel to that side of the world. I'm gonna let you talk before we go on to the next topic, bro. Anything
No,
you gotta
man, I think we can go to the next topic, but I think I agree with you at all.
say? Shout out to Kiki. He says the posh ones will make you earn it. 6'3", being 6'3" in height, I assume helps, but you better be able to hold a conversation. That is factual.
Mhm.
The conversation is key.